Welcome back to the realistic road to glory. Today we end the transfer window. There are plenty of moves still ongoing. As you can see there, Almeria have signed someone from Valencia by the looks of things. There's some odd deals, but obviously we're 8 seasons in. So you're going to get some odd deals, certainly at this stage. We start with Bradford. We start with Bradford City. We are Bradford City, Ches. We start with Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup here. We are going to look to make at least one, if not maybe two signings ourselves today as we run down towards the transfer deadline in a week's time. We've got West Ham away as well in the Premier League as well, as we look to try and get our first points on the board this season. Next month should be a little bit more straightforward, we hope. Anyway, at least on paper it is. But the side is looking strong. The side is looking good. The side played well against Aston Villa. We just got very unlucky. Dibbling has already grown to 83. Agbenon has already grown to 82. Boulat's already grown to 80. So the side is improving as we progress through the early stages of this season. And hopefully it will continue to do so as we progress through the latter stages of this season. Noah Lang has gone to Salzburg. He was on our shortlist, of course. You guys voted for Tyler Dibbling instead. Not bad in his first couple of games. Let's see if he can be... Actually, to be fair, I'm probably going to play a rotated 11 in the Carabao Cup. But we think either cup could be a good route for us into Europe. So we will give each cup competition its due this year and hope that our league form isn't unduly affected. Otherwise, I don't want to be in Europe, but be in the Championship. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save though. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more content. I'd appreciate it very much. Say thank you to Jahir, Squeezy and Matthew. In particular, Matthew, for joining the Patreon as well. Thank you, Matthew. Very good of you. Appreciate it very much indeed. Right. Bradford City versus Sheffield United. Still waiting for your feedback with regards a name for the new ground as well. Asked you that in yesterday's episode. So far, live chat have offered up the Coop or the Chicken Coop, as per the Bantams and Chickens, or Mill Ground, or The Mill, or Mill Lane, based on Bradford's history of cotton milling. If you guys have any other suggestions for a name for our new ground, then please, by all means, leave it in the comment section down below. I'm not looking for branded content, so to speak. I'm not looking for a brand deal for the name of the ground to bring in some extra finances. Financially, we're absolutely fine at the moment, especially considering we're selling so many bloody shirts for some reason. So looking for just the official name of the new ground. And we shall name it, and Banter Arena's just coming in the live chat. We shall name it and christen it in due course. Right. We'll play one more game there, though, and that's Sheffield United here. Didn't select Sheffield United's side. For the Carabao Cup, you fully expect teams to rotate quite a bit, so I'm not going to do the usual make sure they play their best 11 in this competition. Luke Faxon has been given the nod in goal. Femi Sarihi, Anel Ahmedhodzic, Michael Svoboda and Samuel Dahl is on the short... Was he this save? He was on the short. This might have been the journeyman. We were looking for a left. I think it was the journeyman. We were looking for a left back. Samuel Dahl was transfer listed at Roma. She might have been this save. Can't recall. Then in midfield, Bogdan Kowalczyk and Ed Hope, two youth prospects. On the right-hand side, Andre Brooks, Koki Saito on the left, Calvin Jacobs at cam, and Ishmael Fernandez at striker. There are a couple of good players in there, to be fair, and some decent players on the bench as well. But we're fully rotated, and we do have a gap, evidently there, with Akita on the right-hand side. So I'm going to look to bring in either a lone striker or a lone winger, or someone that can play both, similar to Bowie, and we will fill the squad up with an extra player in that position. The plan is, for next season, obviously we have young Hayward out on loan at Borussia Mönchengladbach this year. The plan is for him to come back and be that player as the lone winger next season, because he should grow quite well. He's already 72, and we should see a little bit of growth from him, hopefully, over the course of this season out on loan. So fingers crossed, the youth prospects will do the job. Obviously, Gabe Wadsworth isn't a youth prospect in-game, but he is a youth prospect in real life for Bradford. And he's still here at the club and doing his bit in the Premier League for us. Jacobs out wide here to Saito. Saito is a very dangerous player, and we know how good he can be from our time in the Championship. That wasn't meant for Akin Samira, it was meant for Clarkson. But we have found the ball at the feet of a Bradford man once more, despite nearly giving it away. Looking for Akita around the corner, but can't find him. It's been a game with minimal opportunity thus far, but all it takes is one moment. That moment could come for Akita in a minute. Played him in behind here. He is the lowly rated man. But that lowly rated man has won us a penalty. They're complaining about it, but Svoboda has slid in there and seemingly caught man first, then ball. Was a strong challenge. Leighton Clarkson is the man on the penalty. Couldn't have timed that any better with regards to the mechanic, and couldn't have placed it any better with regards to the penalty. Bradford 1, Sheffield United 0. Dahl inside to Jacobs and Saito. They're coming forward dangerously here. That's a good whip too. Tickle Kane. Tickle didn't get there. Oh my God. Well, we conceded some surprising goals yesterday. Some very unlucky goals yesterday. And that nearly continued as a theme into today then. Wadsworth looking out wide and misplacing his pass. And Femi Siriki does really well. Sheffield United very nearly with a surprise and rather unorthodox equaliser then. Thankfully, our lead is still intact. And you never know, if I can get Bowie in a decent position here, he could send Akita away to maybe score another. He's in, he's won a pen, and now he's buried. Maybe I don't need another lone player. Maybe Akita at 63 rated is the man. Although we are playing against a significantly lesser opposition, so we have to take that into account. I don't think quite he's going to be Premier League level. Brooks with the delivery there, and we'll get up. One round the corner. Saito sent me and buries it. But was he onside? No, says the linesman. Nice ball to Clarkson. Bowie's there. Drill it hard and fast. Bowie. Nah, I should have done better. I should have shot. I don't trust Bowie anymore. That's the problem. In the Championship, when he was first team every week, I'd have just shot there on his right foot. But I just don't trust him anymore in front of goal. So I'm waiting an extra moment before pulling the trigger. When really I don't need to, because he can finish still. Bradford 3, Sheffield United 0. Hopefully the draw is kind to us this year in either cup competition, and we can stand a good chance of winning one of them. Hope. Into Saito. Good block by Van der Haar. Saito again! Whoa. He's the only danger for Sheffield United at the moment. If he was slightly higher rated, I might consider looking at him, because he's been very impactful in the games we've played against Sheffield United for them. We made a change to bring on Young here, who's come off the bench and at 54 rated. It's buried within minutes of being on the pitch. Well, I didn't expect that when I made the change. 4-0. Coombe down the line to Smith Rowe, who just keeps it in and looks for the run of Young. It's well intercepted by the defender. Well, 4-0 doesn't really flatter us, to be honest. You could maybe argue that Sheffield United might have deserved a single goal. Saito deserves a single goal in this game, but they're not going to get one. Really solid victory for us here at home. We'll take that every day of the week. Didn't really deserve that level of explosion from the fans, I'm sure, but we'll take the dub and head on into the next round of the Carabao Cup. Match is rescheduled in September because presumably we now have the next round of the Carabao Cup drawn. And Middlesbrough away is also a favourable draw. Obviously, there's a long way to go in the competition, but we do stand a good chance with draws like Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. Roma have bid for Bowie. 17 million? 70. I mean, it's more than I signed him for, I guess. I wasn't necessarily. We decided we were going to keep hold of him, but he's back up for me. Would he? I presume he wouldn't start for Roma, to be honest. I don't know whether Roma are in European competition at all. Yeah, there you go. They're in Europa Conference League. So they have Orsolini 74, Mohamed Ali Cho 82, Wheatley 83, Dovbik 82. Only 82 for Dovbik. 80 Milosevic, Baldanzini 83, Pagano 79, Koleosho 84, Cherubini. No, I'm going to say no. You guys wanted me to keep Bowie, and I think with a bid like that, I will. If there comes a bid that is realistic for us to sell him, then I will move him on, because I'm still not sure about him. But for the time being, Kieran Bowie stays in the short term. Anyway, you said give him till January. Maybe in January I don't know as in January I would have considered a bid from Roma, though, considering the strength of their squad. We are bottom of the Premier League after 2 games with Bristol City and Ipswich. We'd like to change that, please. So let's head to West Ham and hopefully do just that. 4-3-3 or 4-5-1, probably more likely here for West Ham. Franco Israel in goal. Vanderson, Bade, Inacio, Cambiasso. Not bad. Luna, Frimpong, Guimaraes, Vifa, Fati. Not bad. Vitor Roque up top at 87. Unbelievable, the strength of some of the squads here for... I got an 88 rated Savinho as well. Da Costa's probably a Savinho pre-gen, who I might actually mud a little bit. We have mudded a handful of the... Well, not mudded, but taken them from like 88 rated and 90 rated to like 83, 84 of the pre-gens because they were just a little bit too strong. We're full strength from our regular first team. So we should be able to hopefully hold our own here. I thought that against Aston Villa. And, well, to be fair, it took a lot of luck with 2 of their 3 goals to get what they did. So hopefully today we can perform the same way, but not without the bad luck in front of our own goal. Sara. We will send Asher down the right-hand side, and hopefully he can turn an Asher here, and he's done that superbly. Lancashire. What a save. Very nearly I got the luck there because it could have bounced towards me. Raskin with a header, but it's gone straight back to West Ham here. Should I have buried that? Probably with Lancashire, but Asher Agbenon with a brilliant run. I didn't even ask for the little jink inside the way that he did it. I just changed direction and he lifted it off the floor like that, all of his own accord. So I've been very impressed with Agbenon so far, in all honesty. There were, of course, concerns about his stamina. Rightful concerns about his stamina. But as of yet, it has not proven to be a thorn in his side and a downside to his impact on the pitch. Go on, Bula. Look for Lancashire. Get your turn in. Run, Tyler. Go on, lad. Premier League wonder kid. Trying to impress. Looking for the run of Lancashire. Back here, Sarah, little 1-2. Lancashire with a turn and Bade with a brilliant step in to stop me finding the space to let fly with another effort. West Ham defending very well so far, but we're doing some good defending of our own. We're going to need to. Good strength by Palacio, and he gets to the ball first as well. Nice for a clearance there, actually, but he took a touch. Not that it matters. Ash is just onside here. Has he got Ignacio dealt with again? The answer is yes. We'll take the corner. Agbenon is making quite the impression, isn't he? Certainly in his first couple of games here. Oh, brilliant save by Israel. Longos denied a headed goal from a corner. I've been told that headers are slightly better now with the most recent patch, and on that evidence I more than likely agree. That's advantage for them, I think, because of a handball, frustratingly. Vitor Roque has support. And out to Fati. This is getting a bit end-to-end in just the 25th minute, isn't it? Vifa, safe. And Watara. They just keep leaving Dibbling in a little bit of space, and you can't do that because he is dangerous. He did stumble there, but the referee didn't give a foul. Oh, Lancashire got a turn in but couldn't find the finish. Lancashire is yet to start his goal scoring for us this season. And if we're to do anything this year, we do need our front man to find the back of the net. He did take a little while to get up to speed, to be fair, in the Premier League last season as well. And then when he did get up to speed, he did bag quite regularly. So I'm not going to jump on him just yet. But if he isn't scoring by January, then obviously we will look to make a change. There is no... There's less loyalty at this level than there is at lower league level, that's for sure. Especially when you might be getting relegated if you are loyal, when you really should be cutthroat. Can we find an equaliser before half-time? The answer is no. Will we get the corner? We are allowed it, so we will take it. Longos has come close on 2 occasions so far, and he still doesn't have his goal. Watara. Nicely done. Not so nicely done. I suppose nicely done on West Ham's part. Frimpong. Watara defends it really well. And again. Been impressed with Watara. I wouldn't say he's been any better than Doherty yet, but certainly we've not noticed there be an issue at left back. Well in Longos. Sarah looking for Asher, finding him well. I could maybe have looked for Lancashire there. Agbenon is really ripping every Premier League defence apart so far in his time here at the club. But we cannot find a goal here at the London Stadium, despite trying desperately to do so. Can't find the chance we need, the opportunity we need to make the breakthrough. Can West Ham? Vitor Rocco, back to Cambiasso, Vifa, Roque. No, they can't. Bergstrom makes the save. We're going to have to make some substitutions here to try and turn things in our favour. Oh, Frimpong, that's naughty. Luna and Sufati. Wow. When the camera didn't quite catch up, you were waiting for that to nestle in the top corner. Savino, I think it is, coming on for him. I've made a couple of changes. Kieran Bowie is on up top. The man that was out of favour at the beginning of the season. Nearly just got sold to Roma. But now might have the opportunity to cement his place in the squad still. If we can bag a goal here that gets us a victory, it'd be huge. Savino looking to turn on the afterburners. And the style, well in, not well away though. Thankfully it hasn't cost us. Could have done though. Sarah into Raskin, under pressure. At this moment in time, I'll take the bloody point. 2 minutes added on. Can we get all three? Looking for Aaaand Semiro. Looking for Bowie through the gap. Not finding him. Intercepted well. It will be a scoreless draw at the London Stadium. It's the first clean sheet of the season, though, in the domestic league. Obviously kept a clean sheet against Sheffield United, but does that really count? Not really. Keeping a clean sheet in that one, though, was very impressive. But lacking that final finish. Transfer deadline day has arrived. Enzo Fernandez might be on his way back to the Premier League with Manchester City, apparently. Asugo and Tonali linked with a move away from Newcastle, which is an intriguing one. That's two of their best midfielders they might lose there. Yang Min Hyuk has moved to Inter Milan from Leipzig, presumably. John, I don't know who John is, moved from Tottenham to Lorient. And Joao Pedro has gone from Fulham to Stade Rennais so far. Yang Min Hyuk is a player I was unfamiliar with, but was recommended to me in the Journeyman save. And he's very good and gets very good. Wow. Asugo and Tonali both leave at the same time. One to Parma and one to Stuttgart. I wonder what Newcastle are doing in central midfield now. Enzo Fernandez goes to Mallorca in the end, not Manchester City. Well, that's a surprise for sure. Dangor goes to Troyes. Manchester City or Mallorca? Maybe Mallorca, a new Spanish superpower? Unlikely, though. Roberto from Como to Leverkusen. Singo, the centre-back, to Atalanta from Bologna. Perrone leaves Manchester City to go to Bournemouth. And Wiley comes to Lens from Lazio. We've got a bid here for Kieran Bowie that I hadn't seen. Nubel moves at the age of 34. Nottingham Forest have bid the exact same figure as Roma. Forest, the Premier League, obviously. But do they need him? 84-rated Giuliani Simeone is their only striker. They've got Elanga, Jota Silva, Ayman Ali, Ramon Sosa. I mean, he could play on the left. He could be a backup striker. Maybe I accept this one. I think live chat will get the call on this one because I'm really unsure about this one. I could justify rejecting. I could also justify selling. So with 5 hours to go on deadline day, it would have to be a decent enough fee for me to be able to adequately replace Bowie. But we shall wait and see what live chat say. They're going to get the call on this one. It might be strengthening a direct rival, but at the same time, do we think that Bowie's going to make that much of a difference for Nottingham Forest? The general consensus within the live chat is to sell. Now, with it being 5 hours to go on deadline day, we will ask for an inflated fee. Says I could get up to 21.3, but quite frankly, at this stage of the window, I would want 25 million or so. It would allow us the financial freedom to go and replace him. And, well, seemingly, actually, they might give us a decent fee here. 23 million. I'd rather not have the sell-on clause, to be honest. 23 million? 23 million for Kieran Bowie. Looks like it might well go through. Bowie is leaving, provided Forest can agree terms. So, we need to adequately replace Kieran Bowie. Now, my transfer budget currently stands at 46.5 million. We are 90 million over, sorry, 90,000 over wage budget. But, of course, Bowie's on 55 grand. So, it would allow us the opportunity to still have a sizable amount of money in the remaining wage budget with stretch. And we would have a really decent transfer budget to do the deal as well. We could fiddle it a little bit to ensure that we're actually back under wage budget. Bank balance is looking astronomically healthy right now. So I'm not too concerned about money. I would be intrigued to see who we could get as a replacement as a backup striker winger. Luvumbo's only 5'9", but Luvumbo would be very good. We could contemplate, considering we're strengthening a rival in the Premier League, we could weaken a rival in the Premier League with either Jayden Danns or Raphael Nell from West Ham or Nacho Ferry from Leicester. Bodu is on the transfer list. Luvumbo is in the second division in Spain now with Levante. I mean, we would be replacing a 28-year-old with a 29-year-old if we brought in Luvumbo. But Luvumbo does look very good. The fact that he can pass as well and can play both positions. Ferry is quick. He's not very agile, though. So he's definitely a striker, not a winger. Raphael Nell is striker, winger, cam. Pace, all right, agility and balance-wise. Can pass-ish. Ball control is excellent, but can't. His finishing's not so good. Dan's is just a deadly finisher. I mean, is Luvumbo the best of both worlds? He can pass, he can kind of finish. He's bloody quick. Luvumbo is the one we will look to get a deal done for. But I want to make sure that Bowie goes through first. It's going to take a little while. Zoboszlai might be on his way back to the Premier League to Palace. Bayer might be going to Leeds from Brighton. Be surprised if Brighton let him go. Let's advance an hour. Marcos Leonardo moves from Villarreal to Girona, but that's not of interest. Bayer has moved to Leeds. And Bowie has gone to Forest. There you go, with 3 hours to go. Kieran Bowie is now a Nottingham Forest player. So for £23 million, Kieran Bowie is gone again. But we can add a couple of goals to his squad tracker. We know at this stage of the season how many games he played, because it was literally one in the cup and a couple in the league. And he got a goal in the cup and he got a goal in the league. So Kieran Bowie will have 28 games played, 4 goals and 5 assists left. And then we can add that to his overall for the stat tracker. So that's 47 there, 101 here, and 36 there. But Kieran Bowie is on his way out again. So we signed him for 3, sold him for 13.5, made £10.5 million profit, signed him back for 11, and have sold him for 23. So Kieran Bowie apparently is quite the good piece of asset to make some decent money on. Nottingham Forest, off he goes. Toodaloo, Kieran Bowie, and seemingly welcome Mr. Luvumbo in his place. Valued at 22 million. No, I do not want to pay 55.7 for him, thank you very much. They are in the Segunda Liga, so we'll bid 20. See what they say. They say they would like Nicholas Raskin. Well, I signed him in this window, so no. But that was a value deal of about 25 million, so 24 million. They will accept. Zito Luvumbo is going to come in from Levante and move from the Spanish Segunda Division to the Premier League. A 3-year deal is fine. He's got enough pace that even if he starts to decline a little bit, it's not going to make any real difference to his overall play. He's going to want similar sort of wages to Kieran Bowie, but we have the capability to manage that. £58,000 signed. Zito Luvumbo is in. Diamande moves from Bayern to AC Milan. Tomiyasu's on the move at 32 years of age. No other massive ones in there, though. And a bid with an hour to go from Luton, who bid for the second or third time to try and get Gabe Wadsworth away from us, but we're obviously going to say no to that. And that is where deadline day will end. Katamo might be leaving Crystal Palace. Katamo is a player I would be very interested in if Palace are willing to let him go. Katamo is particularly good. But that's all that we've got. £1.4 billion spent in the transfer window as a whole. Our point brings us off the bottom of the table. But we would like to be significantly higher, please. So let's give you a full transfer window roundup. And then we can end the day. The transfer history for this season so far is Bukayo Saka from Inter Milan to Liverpool for £124.7 million. Xavi Simons joins Arsenal for 120. You can probably figure out who that's a regen of from La Liga for £113.7 million. Erdegaard leaves Arsenal to go to Juventus. Pau Kubasi goes to Tottenham. Elise to Napoli. Kvaratskhelia to Inter Milan. Donangelo, obviously, we sold. That's us. Jordan, a Patreon player, to Manchester United from Parma for £84.3 million. Istvan Vargas left Manchester United to go to Barcelona for 81.2. Jake Garrett to Leganés. I don't know who that is. Gallardo. There's Min Hook. Luis Guillermo from Leganés to AC Milan. Leganés apparently got all the money and decent players. Lukeba to Liverpool is a good one. Mallorca still baffled me with that one. Ravella, Diamande. Julian Alvarez is now at Arsenal. Christian Mosquera at Man United. So they can look to strengthen Chris Rigg. 84 rated centre mid. Wow. Sevilla to Leganés. Bale we saw leave. Inacio to West Ham, who we just played against. Luis Openda's come to Manchester United. Yeremy Doku goes to Inter Milan. Lautaro Martinez, by the way, at 88 rated to Wolves. Zszoboszlai's come to Palace. Matt Green's a Patreon player to Sociedad. Gase Jacobs. Morton Hulman's left Palace to go to Wolves. Rashidi Joseph is a Patreon player. Jack Scott is not a Patreon player. Cam centre mid, American. Colorado Rapids to Sunderland. Mallorca letting another decent talent go. Mark Guy, I have no idea how to pronounce his surname. Mark Guy to Fiorentina. Hugo Ekitike to Leicester. Very, very good. 85 rated. Leonardo Palmeira, to Southampton. Very good player. Iran Kunda was at Mallorca. Mallorca got a team, mate. Wilson Odobert to Parmatino Livramento. Mohamed Kudus, Ricardo Pepe. There's all sorts going on. Case Schmidt leaves Newcastle. Newcastle let Schmidt, Aguwu and Tonali all leave. What does Newcastle's midfield look like now? They've let all three of their best players in midfield go. This is a pure curiosity for me. They've gutted their entire first team midfield. Who have they got there now? I hope for their fans' sake that they've replaced them. They absolutely have not. Letting an 83, an 84 and an 87 go. And now their best centre mid is Joe Willock at 81. As well as Arsh and Nikolai Lund. I think that's a mistake, Newcastle. We'll see if they replace them in January. The AI tends to recover the next window from what they've sold, or the window after that. So we'll wait and see. But with regards to Patreon player moves, we've seen Orlando City for Real Sociedad. You saw that actually in the list there, Rashidi Joseph. Ben Bessemer was released by Bromley and is signed for Coventry, so a nice step up for him. Still out on loan at Angers is James Tourish. Sebastian Anderson has been released by Monaco. Sociedad have also picked up Matt Green from Almeria. Wolfsburg, the destination for Aaaand, who was previously a free agent. Released by Monaco was Michael, and then signed by Manchester United. Also signing to Manchester United is Jordan Hunt from Parma, as you saw from that list. Harrogate swaps for Häcken in Sweden for Catherine. And then a free agent also picked up here. Jordan Melvin signs for Burnley. A couple of other moves. Celtic to Venezia for Hazaruni. And then, well, actually an extension of the loan to Rapid Vienna for Colin from Stade Rennais after starting at Rangers, I imagine. Yeah, Cole started at Rangers as he always does. So, as ever, if you want to pause and have a look at your stats in closer detail, do feel free to do so. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. Feel free to come across to the stream and I can show you your stats in more detail. I admit that's probably a little bit hard to pause, so let me go through it a little bit slower. Whilst I say, please do drop the video a like. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. Of course, you can come and join us on stream at twitch.tv/ChesnoidGaming or youtube.com/ChesnoidLive. We stream on both platforms live simultaneously. And of course, if you'd like to show your support for the channel, be that at the Patreon tier to get a player in game or at any lower tier just to throw a couple of quid my way to help support the channel, then you're more than welcome to. There's a link in the description to the Patreon. That's all from me for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like, subscribe. I'll see you later. Enjoy your weekend.